Hello, my name is Micah Kimbrell, and today I will be talking to you about the author study of T.S. Eliot. So just a little background information. T.S. Eliot, he was born as Thomas Stearns Eliot on September 28th in St. Louis, Missouri. T.S. Eliot came from a wealthy family including educators, businessmen, and preachers. He also attended Smith Academy from 1898 to 1905, followed by Milton Academy from 1905 to 1906. He went on to attend Harvard from 1906 to 1909 for his bachelor's, followed by Sorbonne. And then he went back to Harvard for his master's from 1911 to 1914 for a master's, but due to the start of World War I, he never went back to Harvard. Although Eliot did not serve in World War I, the aftermath and effects of the war can still be seen through his writing. He also attended Merton College in Oxford for further graduate education. Some more biography on T.S. Eliot. So, as for his career, he worked as a teacher from 1915 to 1916, as well as some of his earliest works were actually published while he was still attending college. He also worked as a bank clerk from 1917 to 1925, and he went on to work for a publishing company, Faber and Guywer. Later, it was renamed Faber and Faber, from 1925 until 1965. That is the year he actually passed away. So he worked there from 1925 until he passed away. So, relationships that T.S. Eliot formed throughout his life. First, his first wife, he married Vivian Haywood in 1915. His first marriage was said to be awful as Vivian suffered from mental health issues, which led to his marriage suffering as a result. And one of his first works is believed to be inspired by this marriage, Wasteland. Later on, at the age of 68, however, Eliot married Valerie Fletcher in 1957, which was controversial as Valerie was almost 40 years younger than Eliot. And she was his secretary at the time at Faber and Faber, the printing company that he had worked for. Besides his romantic relationships, Eliot was also able to develop mentor/mentee relationships with Ezra Pound, another writer and foundational figure of modernism who introduced Eliot to many important people who could help him later on in life, as well as get involved with helping edit some of his works. And just a little more background information on T.S. Eliot. Going into his death, he died on January 4th, 1965 due to emphysema at his London home at the age of 76. He was cremated at Golders Green Crematorium, London, United Kingdom, and his place of resting and burial is at St. Michael and All Angels Church, East Coker, United Kingdom. So just a summary of his bibliography. These are just his works in chronological order, starting with Prufrock and Other Observations in 1917, The Wasteland in 1922, Poems in 1919, Ash Wednesday in 1930, Old Possum's Book of Practical Cats in 1939, East Coker in 1940, The Dry Salvages in 1941, Burnt Norton in 1941 as well, Four Quartets in 1943, and The Complete Poems and Plays in 1952, as well as Collected Poems in 1962. And we will dive into a few more of these works in just a few minutes. So, this is Prufrock and Other Observations, which was published in 1917. This is his most well-known work. This is where he got his start from. So, it follows the tale of a modern man who is older and socially inept, as well as an overthinker, but he still yearns for love. So, this story illustrates the frustrations of a modern man, whether this be due to helplessness, as shown by the story, or incompetence. Although it's believed to be based on Eliot's own experiences, it was inspired by Jules Laforgue, as he liked to use masks for his works. Moving on, Wasteland. So The Wasteland is said to be, if not one of the most famous of Eliot's work, but one of his most notable, as well as the other work. It was originally published in 1922. This work follows the collapse of society, followed war through many different perspectives. So it showcases the brokenness, alienation, and loss people face after a war. Even people have trouble connecting with each other, and even sometimes their own religion, which is supposed to be their safety net, but however not in this case. And it makes many allusions to World War I, as this was the current world event occurring at the time. Next, moving on to the four quartets. This work was published in 1943, and it includes individual quartets and 4 separate poems that are all about the nation and being in great danger. So the first poem is Burnt Norton, East Coker, Little Gidding, and the last, The Dry Salvages. These are actually based off of true places in the world, and they reflect the modern period in which Nazism and popularity increased, as well as the Great Depression. So contributions. Although this is in the present day, he is often regarded as a controversial figure in some of his aspects. His works are still regarded for their contributions to modernism as well as literature in general. But his main recognition is for his contributions to the modernist movement in poetry, as he is sometimes and oftentimes regarded as a leader of modernism and the father of modernism in poetry. Next, his works, such as Prufrock and his other works, as his works were a fresh and new take on modernism as well as poetry in general, as he found his own style of writing without having to conform to the traditional American English way of writing, as well as his criticisms which help people better understand and appreciate poetry. He was awarded the Order of Merit by King George VI and the Nobel Prize in 1948 for his contributions to literature. And here are my works cited. Thank you for listening.